Stop. Right where you are. Stop. If you're watching this on February 6, or any day that somehow pulled you here, listen to me carefully. You didn't click a video. Heaven pulled your name. I know you. Your hair is grayer now. Your back hurts a little when you stand up from that kitchen chair. Your knees remember every staircase. But your spirit is still running on God's schedule. And tonight, beloved, God is running ahead of time. You've buried friends whose laughter you can still hear. You've watched your children move to cities you've never seen. You've sat alone at that same table where you used to feed a family of 6, and the silence is so loud it screams. The world says you're winding down, but I'm here to tell you something that's going to shatter that lie. Your story isn't finished. It's about to crack wide open. February 6 is not about superstition. It's not numerology. It's not some cosmic coincidence that you're here right now, in this exact moment, hearing my voice. This is about timing, divine timing, the kind of timing that knows you'd finally be tired enough to stop pretending, and hungry enough to stay for what I'm about to tell you. Picture this. Somewhere in heaven, there's a file with your name written on the tab. Inside that file are things you've wondered about for decades. Why did that door close? Why did you survive when others didn't? Why does your heart still burn when everyone said you should be done by now? Tonight, God is opening that file. And for the next hour, I'm going to read pieces of it out loud. Think about it like this. You know how a letter can get lost in some New York mailroom for years, buried under bills and junk mail and catalogs nobody asked for? And then one day, it just appears, right in your box, right when you need it most. This video is that envelope. February 6 is the postmark, and what I'm about to tell you has been sealed. Until tonight. Some of you have no idea why this specific day matters in the spirit. I'm going to show you. Halfway through this message, I'm going to say one sentence that will explain the last 20 years of your life. You'll know it when you hear it. If your spirit is already stirring, if something in your chest just woke up, type this in the comments right now. I'm listening, Lord. That's your signature. That's how heaven knows you're ready to receive what's been written for you since before you took your first breath. The envelope is open, chosen one. It's time to tell you everything. You know what happens when you get older? Days start bleeding together. Thursday feels a lot like Tuesday. You wake up, take your pills, check the weather, maybe call someone who actually picks up. Another day, another week, another month that somehow turned into another year. But then there are those days, the ones that brand themselves into your memory like a scar you can't stop touching. The day you got the call about your mother. The day the doctor said the word cancer and everything went silent. The day you signed divorce papers with shaking hands. The day you stood at a graveside and realized you'd never hear that laugh again. Those days don't blur. Those days mark you forever. Let me tell you something. The world won't teach you, but the Bible makes crystal clear. There are two kinds of time operating in your life right now, and most people only know about one of them. There's Chronos, that's the clock on your wall, the calendar hanging in your kitchen, the time that just keeps ticking whether you're paying attention or not. Chronos is what makes you 73 instead of 23. It's what puts wrinkles where there used to be smooth skin. It's merciless, and it doesn't stop. But then there's Kairos. That's God's time. That's the appointed moment. That's when heaven looks at the mess of your chronological years and says, "Now, this is the moment I've been preparing you for." In the New Testament, the Greek makes this distinction over and over. When Jesus says in Mark 1:15, "The time has come," he's not talking about the clock. He's talking about Kairos, the fullness of time. The moment when everything heaven has been orchestrating finally clicks into place. And beloved, February 6 is a Kairos moment. I don't care if you're watching this in March or July or 3 years from now. The day you landed here, that's your February 6th. That's the day heaven says, we're done whispering. It's time to tell you everything. You've been carrying questions for decades, haven't you? Why did that relationship die when you prayed so hard for it to live? Why did that door slam shut 20 years ago when you were so sure God was opening it? Why did you survive that heart attack in 2008 when your friend who lived healthier didn't make it past 2009? You've asked. You've prayed. You've sat in your kitchen at 2 in the morning with cold coffee and hot tears, demanding answers from a God who seemed to be giving you nothing but silence. But what if the silence wasn't absence? What if God was waiting for the right moment, the Kairos moment when you'd finally be ready to hear what he's been trying to tell you all along? Think about it like this. If you've ever stood on a subway platform in New York, you know how it works. Trains come and go. They look random if you don't know the system. One train passes by and you think, I missed it. Another comes and it's going the wrong direction. Another comes and it's so packed you can't even squeeze in. From where you're standing, it looks like chaos. It looks like you're being passed by. It looks like everyone else is going somewhere and you're just stuck on the platform, getting older, getting more tired, wondering if your train already left without you. But every single one of those trains is on a schedule. There's a system, there's a plan, and there's a train with your name on it that's been scheduled to pull into your station at exactly this moment. Your life has felt like random trains passing by. But God is saying tonight, no. There's a train with your name on it, pulling in right now. And if you miss this one, you'll spend the rest of your years wondering what would have happened if you just stepped on. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 3 undeniable signs that prove February 6, or whatever day God marked for you to hear, this is your turning point. Even if you're watching this in 2027, even if February 6 has come and gone on the calendar, this moment right now is your divine appointment. Don't you dare miss what I'm about to show you. But first, I need you to do something. I need you to remember. There's a date in your past that still haunts you, isn't there? Or maybe there's a date that still shines like a lighthouse in your memory. A year when everything changed, when someone died or someone was born, when you lost everything, or when you found something you didn't know you were looking for. Drop that year in the comments right now. Don't explain it, just the year. 1987, 2003, 2019, whatever it is, just type the numbers, because I want you to see something powerful. You're going to watch hundreds of other people drop their years, and you're going to realize you're not alone in carrying dates that changed everything. Go ahead, do it now, because what I'm about to tell you next is going to connect that year to this moment in a way that will make your spirit tremble. I want you to do something with me right now. If you can, close your eyes for just a moment. Picture yourself sitting in a small movie theater, one of those old New York theaters with the red velvet seats, the kind that's been there since the 40s. The lights go down, the projector clicks on, and there, filling the screen in front of you, is your life. Black and white photographs from your childhood, grainy home videos from your teenage years, your first apartment with mismatched furniture, your wedding day, the first time you held your baby, your first big mistake that you thought would destroy you. Keep watching. There's the factory floor where you worked double shifts, the hospital room where you got news that changed everything, the funeral home where you said goodbye too many times, the kitchen table where you've cried alone more nights than you can count, the holidays that got quieter every year because the chairs stayed empty. You see it all now, don't you? The whole timeline of your years stretched out like a film reel that just keeps spinning. Now let me tell you what you've been thinking as you watch that screen. You've been thinking, that's a lot of pain for one person. You've been thinking, I survived, but barely. You've been thinking, God, why did you let so much go wrong? But here's what breaks my heart. You've been watching your life like it's a tragedy, like it's a series of accidents, like you've just been stumbling through the decades, getting knocked down, getting back up, getting knocked down again. Dear one, what if I told you that you've been sitting in the wrong seat? What if I told you that you've been watching your life from the audience, when you should have been watching it from the director's chair? Listen to me. Every single frame of that film, every heartbreak, every hospital visit, every bankruptcy notice, every betrayal, God was there. Not as a spectator, as the director. And the director never walked off set. He never yelled cut and went home. He stayed through every scene. You remember that moment when you thought you were done? When the diagnosis came back and you whispered, "This is it. I can't take any more." Something kept you breathing, didn't it? Something you couldn't explain made you open your eyes the next morning. That wasn't random chance. That wasn't your willpower. That was the director saying, "No. The scene isn't finished. Keep rolling." You've lived through wars some of these young folks only read about in history books. You've worked jobs that broke your body but fed your family. You've raised children alone when their other parent walked away. You've been laid off at 55 and told you're too old to start over. You've watched your savings disappear. You've buried people whose voices you still hear in your sleep. You are not weak, beloved. You are not washed up. You are a survivor of decades. You've endured deaths and divorces and disappointments that would have absolutely destroyed someone with a softer constitution. But you're still here. You're still watching. You're still breathing. And if we could pull the film reel of your life off the shelf in heaven right now, if we could see every frame the way God sees it, there are parts even you forgot. Moments you dismissed as meaningless. Days you wrote off as wasted. But God didn't forget a single one. He was recording everything because he saw what you couldn't see, the pattern. The Bible says in Jeremiah 29:11, "I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." But here's what most people miss. That verse was written to people in exile, people who had lost everything, people who thought their story was over, people who felt exactly like you feel right now. God wasn't speaking to the winners. He was speaking to the survivors. You only saw the scenes as you lived them. He saw the whole script. You saw the painful cuts. He saw the final edit. You saw the budget running out. He saw the provision that was already on the way. Every time you almost gave up but didn't, that was him directing your steps. Every door that closed in your face that you thought was rejection, that was him protecting you from a storyline that would have destroyed you. Every delay that made you furious, that was him buying time for something better to get in position. In just a few minutes, I'm going to show you the one pattern that shows up all through your story. Once you see it, once you really see it, you will never be able to say, "God forgot me the same way again." Because the evidence is written in every decade of your life. But right now, I need you to do something. If you're comfortable, whisper this under your breath, and I mean really, whisper it out loud. "Lord, show me my story through your eyes." You're not crazy for talking to yourself. You're answering a call that's been echoing through your entire life. Because, chosen one, your movie isn't over. You're not watching the credits roll. You're sitting right here, right now, on February 6th, in the middle of the most important scene you've ever played. And the director is about to reveal why he kept you in the story this long. Let me tell you something that's going to cut through every lie you've been whispering to yourself in the dark. You know what I hear more than anything else from people your age? 4 sentences, 4 deadly sentences that have been poisoning your spirit for years, and tonight we're going to kill them dead. I missed my chance. God used me once. He's done now. I wasted my life. I'm just counting days until I die. You've said at least one of those, haven't you? Maybe you said it this morning. Maybe you said it last Tuesday when your grandkids were too busy to call. Maybe you say it every single night before you close your eyes, wondering if tomorrow even matters. Here's what breaks my heart: you actually believe it. You've convinced yourself that because you're 70, 80, 90 years old, because your body moves slower and your memory isn't what it used to be, that somehow God hit an expiration date on your purpose, like you're a carton of milk that went bad, like heaven stamped expired across your forehead the day you collected your first Social Security check. That's a lie straight from hell, and I'm going to prove it to you right now. Moses was 80 years old. 80, when God called him to deliver an entire nation. Not lead a Bible study, not volunteer at the church bake sale, deliver millions of people from the most powerful empire on earth. His best work didn't start until most people today would be in assisted living. Abraham, the father of faith? God told him he'd father nations when his body was already as good as dead. He was 100 years old when Isaac was born. Sarah was 90. They weren't winding down. They were just getting started on the assignment that would change human history forever. And Anna, sweet Anna, the prophetess, 84 years old, spending day after day in the temple, and people probably walked past her thinking she was just some old woman who had nothing better to do. But when baby Jesus showed up, she was the one who recognized the Messiah. Her entire life led to that one moment, at 84. You see what I'm saying? Your age isn't your disqualification, it's your documentation. It's proof that you've survived what should have killed you. It's evidence that God has been preserving you for something specific. But the world doesn't see it that way, does it? The culture moves you to the sidelines the minute your face gets wrinkles. They put you in the background. They talk over you at family dinners. They make decisions about your life without asking what you think. They treat you like your decoration instead of destiny. But listen to me, the kingdom operates on a completely different system. The kingdom calls you to the front row specifically because your spirit has mileage, because you've got wisdom that can't be downloaded, because you've walked through fire and you're still standing. And that kind of faith is exactly what this generation needs to see. You think you're too broken? You think your mistakes disqualify you? Let me ask you something. Do you know what God does with broken things? He doesn't throw them away. He uses them to build something stronger. Your cracks aren't your shame. They're where the light gets in. You've been walking around like a broken watch, convinced you can't keep time anymore. But God says you're not broken. You were just set to the wrong clock. You've been running on the world's time, the time that says youth equals value, that says beauty equals worth, that says productivity equals purpose. But God's clock runs different. His timing has nothing to do with your birthday and everything to do with your obedience. Think about an old tree. The world looks at it and sees dead wood, but that tree is still bearing fruit. Its roots run deeper than any young sapling. It's weathered storms that would have snapped a younger tree in half. That's you, beloved. You're not dying. You're deepening. So tonight, February 6, heaven is officially rejecting every label you've slapped on yourself. You stood in front of the mirror and said, "Too late." Heaven looked at the same moment and said, "Right on time." You whispered, "Used up." Heaven declared, "Perfect candidate." You wrote yourself off as finished. God marked you as ready. Every single morning you wake up, breathing, is God's way of saying your assignment isn't complete. Every sunrise you see is another page in a story that's still being written. You're not in the epilogue. You're in the chapter where everything that seemed random finally starts making sense. Right after this, I'm going to open up what God has been hiding for you, not from you. That's the part the enemy has been working overtime to keep you from hearing. Because when you finally understand why you're still here, why you've survived everything that tried to take you out, why February 6 matters in your timeline, everything changes. But first, I need you to do something. If you can, put your hand over your chest right now. Feel that heartbeat? That's not just biology. That's divine assignment still pumping through your veins. Now say this out loud with me. Lord, I cancel the lie that I am too old and too late. Drop "not too late" in the comments. Not for me, for you. So you can come back tomorrow when the doubt creeps in again and remember what you declared tonight. Because, chosen one, what I'm about to tell you next is going to reveal exactly why God kept you alive when others didn't make it, and what He's been preparing you to do with every year, every tear, every battle you've survived. You know what broke my heart last Tuesday night? I was praying, and God showed me something that made me weep. He showed me millions of His chosen ones sitting in quiet rooms across America, believing the lie that their file in heaven got lost. That somehow, between raising children and burying spouses and watching the world change without them, God misplaced their paperwork. But listen to me, beloved. If we could walk into heaven's archives right now and pull the file with your name on it, here's what we'd see written across the top in letters of fire. This one survived what was meant to destroy them. Not this one got lucky. Not this one barely made it. This one survived. That heart attack at 67 that the doctors said you wouldn't wake up from? Survived. That depression in your 50s that whispered you should just end it all? Survived. That financial collapse that should have left you homeless? Survived. And every single survival wasn't coincidence. It was divine intervention, because heaven knew what you'd be needed for in 2025. Second headline in your file. This one carries wisdom. Money can't buy. You think Silicon Valley billionaires are wise because they built apps? You've built a life through wars, recessions, losses that would have broken weaker souls. You've sat at bedsides and held hands while people took their last breath. You've forgiven betrayals that would have turned others into stone. You've learned to worship when your bank account said panic, when your doctor's report said prepare, when your children's choices said you failed. That's not information, dear one. That's wisdom. And this generation, drowning in data, is starving for what you carry. Third headline. And this is the one that's going to wreck you. This one is needed in the last chapters, not retired from them. The world told you to step aside. Your own family might have suggested you slow down, take it easy, enjoy your golden years. But God never used the word retirement when He wrote your assignment. Moses was 80 when he split the Red Sea. Abraham was 100 when Isaac was born. Anna was 84 when she prophesied over baby Jesus in the temple. Your age isn't your expiration date, it's your activation code. But here's what else is written in that file, and I need you to hear this with your spirit, not just your ears. God's own notes are scribbled in the margins. I kept this one hidden to protect them from people who would have used them. You thought you were being overlooked. God was building a wall around you. Because if you'd gotten that platform at 40, those false friends would have consumed you. If you'd received that wealth at 50, those vultures would have picked you clean. If you'd stepped into influence at 60, the enemy would have positioned people around you to destroy your integrity. So God hid you. Like a diamond in a vault, not forgotten, protected. Another note in the margin. I let some dreams fall apart so they wouldn't steal this one from me. That business that collapsed, it would have consumed you and left you with money but no soul. That relationship that ended, that person would have slowly poisoned your purpose. That door that slammed shut. Behind it was a path that led away from your true assignment. Jeremiah 29:11 says, I know the plans I have for you, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. But sometimes God's way of giving you a future is destroying the wrong present. One more note, and this one is underlined twice. I preserved this one's mind so they could be a voice in a noisy generation. While others your age are fading, you're still sharp, still dreaming, still hearing God's voice in the middle of the night. That's not lucky genetics, beloved. That's strategic preservation. Because God needs clarity in a confused world, and He's kept your mind clear for this exact moment. Those years you called wasted? Those weren't wasted. Those were incubation years. You know what happens during incubation? Nothing looks like it's moving. The egg just sits there. But inside, invisible to everyone watching, life is forming. Wings are growing. Strength is building. And when the appointed time comes, what emerges is fully formed and ready to fly. God has treated you like a treasure in a safety deposit box. Not on display where thieves could steal you, not in a shop window where you could be damaged, but locked away, owned, cherished, waiting for the moment when you'd be needed most. And chosen one, February 6, marks the moment when that box is being opened. Tonight, some of those blacked out lines in your story are being uncovered. Pages you thought were torn out are being returned to you. Questions you've carried for decades are about to get answers that make you fall to your knees in gratitude. You thought you were the leftover story God forgot to finish. Heaven says, you are the chapter the enemy was most afraid of. That's why the attack never let up. But if this file is real, if these headlines are accurate, if God really has been writing about you this whole time, then what do you do with this information? How do you activate what's been dormant? How do you step into what's been written? In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you 3 specific instructions for February 6 that unlock what's in this file. Don't log off before you hear them, because one of these instructions is going to feel impossible until you understand the authority you actually carry. If something in you is finally connecting the dots, if puzzle pieces from your past are suddenly making sense, just write this: I receive what heaven wrote about me. That's you agreeing with God's file, not your fear. That's you saying the enemy lied, but heaven told the truth. Because your file isn't closed, beloved. It's just being opened for the first time where you can actually read it. Now listen to me carefully, chosen one. Everything I've told you up until this moment has been revelation. But revelation without action is just information that makes you feel good for an hour and then fades like morning fog over the Hudson River. God didn't bring you here tonight just to feel something. He brought you here to do something. And what I'm about to give you are 3 instructions, not suggestions, not recommendations. 3 specific acts that will mark February 6 as the day everything shifted in your spiritual timeline. I can already hear some of you thinking, I'm too old for assignments. I'm too tired for steps. I just want God to do it for me. But beloved, even when Jesus healed the blind man in John 9, He didn't just snap His fingers. He made mud, put it on the man's eyes, and said, "Go wash in the pool of Siloam." The miracle required movement. The breakthrough required obedience. Your movement starts today. Instruction number 1, clean the inner room. Right now, I don't care if it's midnight. I don't care if you're already in your pajamas. I want you to find a quiet corner in your home. It doesn't have to be fancy. A chair by the window, a spot at your kitchen table, the edge of your bed. That corner becomes your altar. Matthew 6:6 says, "But when you pray, go into your room, close the door and pray to your Father, who is unseen." You need a physical place that becomes a spiritual meeting point. Not the couch where you watch TV. Not the chair where you pay bills. A space that is set apart. Now here's the hard part. I want you to look around that space and find one object, just one, that's connected to regret. Maybe it's a photograph of someone who hurt you, Maybe it's a card from someone you can't forgive. Maybe it's a letter you've read 1,000 times that only brings you shame. Maybe it's that bottle of pills that reminds you of the diagnosis. Maybe it's the unpaid bill that screams failure every time you see it. Take that object, hold it in your hands, and I want you to pray over it. Not a pretty prayer, a raw prayer. God, this thing has had more power over me than you have. Today, I break its authority. Then either throw it away, burn it safely, or put it somewhere you can't see it anymore. You think I'm being dramatic? Colossians 3:5 tells us to put to death whatever belongs to your earthly nature. That's not poetry, that's instruction. Your altar can't hold both God's presence and the ghosts of your past. One of them has to go. Instruction number 2. Write the letter you never wrote. Now sit down at that altar with a piece of paper and a pen. Not your phone, not a computer, paper and pen. There's something about your hand forming the words that connects your heart to the page in a way typing never will. At the top of that paper, write these words: Dear God, here's what I never told you about my disappointment. And then, beloved, I want you to be honest, brutally honest. Tell him about the prayers he didn't answer. Tell him about the marriage that died. Tell him about the children who stopped calling. Tell him about the money that never came. Tell him about feeling invisible in a world that worships youth. Tell him about sitting in church and feeling nothing. Tell him about the nights you wondered if he even knows your address anymore. Don't be polite. Don't use religious language. God doesn't need you to sound like a Sunday school teacher. Psalm 62:8 says, Pour out your hearts to him, for God is our refuge. You can't pour out what you're still holding in. This is the conversation you've been avoiding for years because you thought honesty would disqualify you. But the opposite is true. Your honesty is what qualifies you. God is not afraid of your anger. He's not shocked by your doubt. He's been waiting for you to stop performing and start talking. Write until your hand hurts. Write until you've emptied every room in your heart that's been locked. This letter is not for me. This letter is not for your pastor. This letter is between you and the one who already knows every word before you write it, but is waiting for you to say it anyway. Instruction number 3. Say yes out loud. When you're done with that letter, I want you to end it with one sentence. Write this exactly. Lord, if you still want to use me, I say yes. Now here's the part that separates those who are serious from those who are just curious. I want you to say that sentence out loud. Not in your head. Out loud. Even if your voice shakes. Even if you're alone. Even if it feels foolish. Romans 10:9 says, If you declare with your mouth, Jesus is Lord, and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. Your mouth has power. Your spoken word activates something in the spiritual realm that silent agreement cannot touch. When you say yes out loud, you're not making a suggestion to heaven. You're signing a contract. You're pressing a reset button that actually clicks. February 6 stops being just another day on the calendar and becomes the day you gave God permission to move again. Some of you are afraid to say yes because you've said it before and felt like nothing happened. But what if nothing happened because the timing wasn't February 6? What if nothing happened because you weren't ready for what that yes would cost you? What if nothing happened because God was waiting for you to be desperate enough, broken enough, honest enough to mean it this time? If you'll do at least one of these 3 things, today, not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel more spiritual, type in the comments right now, I will do it today. Don't say someday. Heaven doesn't work with someday. Heaven works with today. And stay with me, because in just a few minutes, I'm going to pray a commissioning prayer over everyone who writes that letter. Not a generic prayer, a specific, targeted, prophetic prayer that will mark this moment in your spirit forever. But first, you need to understand why these 3 instructions matter more than you think. Let me ask you something, and I need you to be honest with yourself right now. These last 6 months, maybe the last year, hasn't it felt heavier than usual? Like you're carrying weight that has no name? Like exhaustion that 8 hours of sleep can't touch? You wake up tired. You go to bed tired. And somewhere in between, people who used to understand you suddenly don't. Conversations feel strained. Your own family looks at you sideways, wondering why you're different lately. The enemy has been loud, hasn't he? Whispering that you're losing your mind, that God's moved on, that your time is up. But what if I told you something that's going to flip your entire perspective? What if that warfare wasn't random? What if it was confirmation? Listen to me, beloved. You don't attack something that's worthless. Hell doesn't waste ammunition on empty targets. The fact that you've been under siege, spiritually, emotionally, physically, is not evidence that God forgot you. It's evidence that hell panicked about February 6. Let me show you how this works in Scripture, because this pattern is ancient. It's been playing out since Genesis, and it's playing out in your life right now. Think about Israel at the Red Sea. They'd just been delivered from 400 years of slavery. They were walking in their freedom. God Himself was leading them with a pillar of cloud by day and fire by night. Everything should have been smooth, right? But what happened? Pharaoh changed his mind and came after them with his entire army. 600 chariots, the best warriors Egypt had. And the people of Israel found themselves trapped, water in front, army behind, mountains on both sides. That wasn't bad luck. That was hell panicking, because Israel was 3 days away from a miracle that would be talked about for thousands of years. The enemy always attacks hardest, right before your Red Sea parts. Or look at Joseph, 17 years old when God gave him dreams of greatness. But what happened next? His brothers threw him in a pit. He got sold into slavery. He was falsely accused and thrown into prison. For 13 years, Joseph sat in that dungeon wondering if God had made a mistake. 13 years. And do you know when the attack was most intense? Right before Pharaoh had that dream. Right before Joseph went from prisoner to prime minister in a single day. The warfare always peaks right before promotion. And Jesus, the Son of God Himself, what happened right after His baptism, when heaven opened and the Father said, "This is my beloved Son." The Spirit drove Him into the wilderness. 40 days of fasting. Satan showing up with his best temptations, trying to derail the ministry before it even started. Why? Because hell knew what was coming. 3 years that would shake the gates of death itself. You see the pattern? The shaking always comes before the landing. You know how when you're on a plane and you're getting ready to touch down, and suddenly the whole aircraft starts rattling. The wings are shaking, the overhead bins are creaking, your coffee's sloshing around. And for a second you think, are we going to make it? That's not the plane falling apart. That's the plane fighting through the final turbulence before wheels hit solid ground. That's where you are, chosen one. You're not crashing, you're landing. The enemy wanted you to panic and get off the plane mid-flight. He wanted you to believe the turbulence meant you were on the wrong flight. But I'm telling you right now, you're 60 seconds from touchdown. Hell knows it. That's why the warfare got worse. You thought God was ghosting you. The truth is, heaven was arming you while hell was trying to distract you. Every sleepless night was God downloading strategy into your spirit. Every moment of isolation was Him clearing the frequency so you could hear His voice without interference. Every attack was confirmation that you're carrying something the enemy desperately wants to stop. Think about it like this. You're standing on a train platform. You've been waiting for what feels like forever. Your legs hurt, your back aches, you're about to walk away, and right then, Right when you're 1 minute from leaving, the enemy shows up and starts making noise, loud noise, confusing noise, chaos. Why? Because he can hear the train coming around the bend, and if he can get you to leave the platform 60 seconds too early, you'll miss what you've been waiting for your entire life. But you didn't leave, did you? You're still here, still standing, still believing. And that, beloved, is why hell is terrified of you. In just a few minutes, I'm going to speak what I believe is heaven's nickname for you. A name that explains why you've been such a target. A name that makes sense of every battle, every closed door, every moment you felt forgotten. But first, you need to know this. You survived the attack because you're built for what's coming next. If the last 6 to 12 months have been especially rough, if you recognize yourself in what I'm saying, just type "that's me" in the comments, or drop a dove emoji. You're not alone in this. You're not losing your mind. You're right on schedule. And what's about to break open is going to make every single battle worth it. Chosen one, let me tell you something that's going to change how you see tomorrow morning when you wake up. February 6 is not the end of your story. It's the bookmark. It's the page where everything you thought was finished suddenly gets rewritten. And what happens next, what happens in the days, weeks, and months after tonight, is going to feel like you've been handed a pen you forgot you owned. Listen to me carefully. The next 30 days are going to be different. Not because the world changes, but because something inside you just shifted. You're going to notice things, small things that aren't small at all. Your prayers are going to land differently. You know that feeling when you've been talking to someone and you're not sure they're listening. That's about to stop. When you pray now, you're going to feel the room change. The air gets thicker. Your words carry weight they didn't carry before. Psalm 34:15 says, "The eyes of the Lord are on the righteous, and his ears are attentive to their cry." His ears just tuned in. You're not shouting into the void anymore. Old memories are going to surface. Things you buried 40 years ago. Moments you thought you'd made peace with. Don't be afraid of them. God is bringing them back not to torment you, but to heal you. Because you can't finish strong carrying wounds you never let him touch. That brother you haven't spoken to since 1987, his face is going to show up in your mind at 3 a.m. That's not random, that's assignment. And here's what's going to shock you. You're going to speak when you used to stay quiet. You know that moment at the family dinner when someone says something that breaks your heart and you just smile and pass the potatoes. Not anymore. Something in you is going to rise up, not with anger, with authority. You're going to open your mouth and words you didn't plan are going to come out, and the room is going to go silent because they'll recognize what you carry now. But this isn't just about the next month, beloved. This is about your next season, the next chapter. The years you thought were just a slow fade to black. God is positioning you to become what heaven calls a finisher. Not a retiree, not someone waiting for the end. A finisher, the one who crosses the line when everyone else got distracted halfway through the race. Hebrews 12:1 tells us we're surrounded by so great a cloud of witnesses. You think they're just watching? No. They're cheering, because they know what's about to happen through you. You're going to become a spiritual mother, a spiritual father, to people who don't even know they need you yet. Younger souls who are drowning in noise, who can't hear God's voice through the chaos. And somehow, don't ask me how they're going to find you, or you're going to find them. A conversation in a grocery store line, a neighbor you've seen for years but never really talked to. Suddenly, they're going to ask you something, and when you answer, their eyes are going to change, because you're not giving advice anymore. You're releasing wisdom. Paul told Timothy in 2 Timothy 2:2, "The things you have heard me say in the presence of many witnesses, entrust to reliable people who will also be qualified to teach others." You are that reliable person. Your story isn't just for reminiscing over coffee. Your story is curriculum. Your pain is a syllabus. Your survival is their textbook. God is going to assign you to one or two specific people. Maybe not a crowd. Maybe not a stadium full of thousands. Maybe just the woman down the hall in apartment 4C who hasn't smiled in 6 months. Maybe the grandson who calls you once a month but never really talks. Maybe the kid who bags your groceries and always looks exhausted. Don't despise the smallness of it. Don't think because it's not a platform that it's not powerful. Jesus said in Matthew 10:42, "If anyone gives even a cup of cold water to one of these little ones, that person will certainly not lose their reward." One soul is a whole world to God, and He's about to put a world in your hands. You are not a burned-out building, beloved. You are a lighthouse. Lighthouses don't move. They don't chase ships. They don't travel the ocean looking for someone to save. They stay exactly where they are, and their light tells ships where safety is. Your life, right there, in that apartment, in that house, in that quiet neighborhood, your life is the light. And people are looking for shore. Heaven doesn't call you senior citizen. That's Earth's label. Heaven calls you finisher. You are the generation that still has the courage to say yes when everyone else is distracted by screens and noise and fear. You've lived long enough to know that obedience costs something, and you're still willing to pay it. Picture someone right now, someone younger than you, someone you know who's lost, confused, barely holding on. Whisper their name to God. Go ahead, say it in your heart. That name that just came to mind? That's not coincidence. That's your next assignment dropping into your spirit. This is your lighthouse moment. This is when you stop wondering if you still matter and start realizing you're the only one standing in the right spot to guide them home. But don't leave yet, because in the next section, I'm going to invite you into something sacred, a moment right where you sit, where heaven doesn't just speak to you, heaven marks you. And many of you are going to feel something shift in your chest, in your tears, in the peace that floods a room when God says, "You're mine, and I'm not done." Are you ready to be marked by what comes next? Beloved, we've walked a long road together tonight. We started with a date, February 6th, that felt like just another Thursday. But then we opened the file. We read the pages heaven had sealed until this moment. We walked through your past, through the lies the enemy whispered, through the assignments God wrote before you were born. And now we're standing at the edge of something so powerful, so sacred, that I need you to lean in close. Because what I'm about to declare over your life will either shatter you or remake you. And honestly, it needs to do both. You are not who you thought you were. For 70, 80, maybe 90 years, you've been walking around believing a story about yourself that was written by disappointment, a narrative authored by people who didn't have eyes to see you, a script handed to you by a culture that worships youth and discards wisdom. But tonight, God is ripping up that script and handing you the original. Listen to me. You are not an accident. You are an answer. Somewhere in this country right now, someone is praying a prayer that only your story can answer. Your survival wasn't luck, it was strategy. Your endurance wasn't stubbornness, it was assignment. You are not forgotten. You are stationed. The Bible says in Esther 4:14, "Who knows but that you have come to your royal position for such a time as this? Not for yesterday, not for when you were younger and stronger, for this time, for this crisis, for this generation that needs to see what faithfulness looks like after 50 years of choosing God when He felt silent." You think you're winding down? You're being wound up. You think you're fading? You're being refined. Every wrinkle on your face is a sermon. Every scar on your heart is a credential. You have been through the fire and came out carrying the smell of heaven instead of smoke. But here's what breaks my heart. Some of you are still living like you're stuck, like your best chapters got lost somewhere between 1987 and now, like God put you on a shelf and forgot where He placed you. That's the lie that's been stealing your final years. And tonight, that lie dies. You are not stuck, beloved. You are being stationed, like a soldier positioned at exactly the right post at exactly the right hour. The delay wasn't denial, it was deployment strategy. Think about Joseph. Genesis 50:20 says, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good, to accomplish what is now being done, the saving of many lives." Every closed door, every betrayal, every year you thought was wasted, it was all positioning you to save someone who hasn't even cried out for help yet. You are not too old. You are precisely aged. Like wine, like wood, like faith that's been tested by time and found genuine. And right now, I need you to do something that might feel uncomfortable. I need you to stop being a spectator in your own life. I need you to speak out loud, even if you're alone in your apartment, even if your voice cracks, even if you haven't prayed out loud in years. If you can, repeat these words after me. Say them slowly, mean them deeply. Father, I give you my remaining years. However many mornings I have left, they're yours. Use my story. The broken parts, the beautiful parts, all of it. Heal what's still wounded. Activate what's been dormant. I say yes to my assignment, even if I don't fully understand it yet, even if it scares me. I say yes. Let me tell you what I see happening in the spirit right now. Some of you will never see a crown on your head here on earth. The world will never throw you a parade. Your name won't be in newspapers. But I see God placing something on your head tonight that carries a different kind of weight. It says approved. It says needed. It says mine. You've been walking through tunnels for decades, dark subway tunnels where you couldn't see 3 feet in front of you. But tonight, you're stepping out of the underground into morning. The sun hasn't risen yet, but you can see the edge of light breaking through the buildings. Psalm 92:14 says, "They will still bear fruit in old age. They will stay fresh and green. Not were, not used to. Will, present tense, future tense." Your fruit-bearing season isn't behind you, it's in front of you. But this only works if you stop agreeing with the voices that said you're done. You have to fire the narrator who's been telling your story wrong. You have to pick up the identity God wrote and wear it like a name tag that says, still called, still chosen, still dangerous to darkness. If you just prayed that prayer, if something shifted in your chest, if you felt heaven lean in close, type Amen in the comments right now. Type Yes, Lord. That's not just a comment. That's your public declaration in front of heaven and earth that you're no longer living as forgotten. And listen, if this word just became your confirmation, if you finally understand why you're still here, don't let it end with you. Hit that like button so this reaches another senior citizen who woke up this morning thinking they don't matter anymore. Share this with someone whose birthday lands near this date. Become the messenger God uses to wake up His hidden ones. Because chosen one, you're not the end of the line. You're the turning point. And what happens next will determine whether your grandchildren inherit blessing or just memories. So, let me ask you one final question that will set the direction for everything that follows. Now that you know who you really are, what are you going to do about it? Beloved, if you feel overwhelmed right now, if tears are streaming down your face and you don't even know why, if you're sitting there numb, staring at the screen like someone just turned all the lights on in a room you've been stumbling through in the dark for decades, that's okay. That's more than okay. That's proof your heart just heard more truth in 1 hour than it's heard in years. Your soul needed this, and God knew it. You see, what just happened wasn't entertainment. This wasn't just another video to pass the time while you wait for sleep to come. This was a divine appointment. February 6 wasn't marked on your calendar, but it was marked in heaven. And tonight, the veil got thin enough for you to hear what God's been whispering your whole life. Now listen to me carefully. I want you to remember 3 simple instructions, not 10 commandments, not a complicated formula, just 3 things that will anchor everything you heard tonight into your real life. First, find your quiet corner. I don't care if it's that old chair by the window, or the edge of your bed, or even your kitchen table at 5 in the morning when the world is still asleep. Make it your altar. That's where you meet God face to face. No distractions, no noise, just you and Him. Elijah didn't hear God in the earthquake or the fire. He heard Him in the still, small voice. Your corner is where that voice gets loud. Second, write God an honest letter. Not a pretty prayer with religious words you think you're supposed to say. Write the raw truth. Tell Him about the anger you've been carrying since 1987. Tell Him about the child who doesn't call anymore. Tell Him about the bank account that keeps you awake at night. Tell Him about the loneliness that sits in your chest like a stone. He already knows, beloved, but you need to say it. You need to bleed it out on paper so it stops poisoning your spirit. Third, speak your yes out loud, not in your head, out loud. Say it to the mirror, say it to the wall, say it to the photograph of your grandmother who prayed you into existence. Say, yes, Lord, I'm yours. Use what's left of me, because when you speak it, something shifts in the atmosphere. Faith comes by hearing, and you need to hear yourself surrender. Now, I know some of you are thinking, but I'm 73 years old. I'm 86. I'm 92. How am I supposed to do all this? I can barely get up the stairs without stopping twice. Chosen one, God isn't asking you to run like you did at 20. He's not asking you to leap tall buildings or move mountains with your bare hands. He's asking you to walk with Him at the pace of grace. One step, one day, one quiet morning at a time. Moses was 80 when God called him to deliver a nation, and that man had a speech impediment and a murder charge in his past. If God can use Moses, He can use you. Let me pray over you right now. Wherever you are, just close your eyes. Let these words wash over you like warm water on tired bones. Father God, I lift up every precious soul who stayed with us tonight. You know their names, you know their addresses, you know which pills they take every morning and which memories haunt them every night. Lord, I ask you to bless their bodies right now. Touch their aching backs, their swollen knees, their tired hearts. Give them sleep tonight, real sleep, the kind that comes from peace and not from exhaustion. Bless their minds, Father, the memories that won't fade and the names they can't quite remember. Bless their children and their grandchildren, even if the relationships are broken, even if years have passed since the last phone call. Plant seeds of reconciliation in soil that looks dead. You specialize in resurrection, God. And Lord, mark this day. Mark February 6 inches their spirits as a day of peace and new beginning. Not the end of their story, but the chapter where everything started making sense. Let them look back on tonight and say, that's when I remembered who I was. In Jesus' mighty name, Amen. Tonight may not remove every shadow from your life. You might wake up tomorrow and the bills will still be there. The pain will still be there. The loneliness will still knock on your door. But beloved, God just turned on a nightlight in your soul. You won't walk in the dark the same way again. You'll see His hand in places you thought were empty. You'll hear His voice in silence you thought was abandonment. Picture yourself right now, walking down a crowded New York street, arm in arm with Jesus. People rushing past, horns honking, the city doing what the city does. But you're not alone anymore. You're walking with the one who knew your name before the city was even built. That's your new reality. Now, I need something from you before you go. In the comments, tell me in one sentence, what did God show you about your life tonight? Don't overthink it, just one sentence, because your testimony isn't just for you. Somebody else scrolling through these comments tomorrow is going to read your words and realize they're not crazy, they're not alone, they're chosen too. And if you want to keep walking with me and this family of chosen ones, hit that subscribe button. Don't do this alone. We're going to keep meeting here, day after day, year after year, until God finishes what He started in you. This isn't just a channel. This is a community of people who refuse to believe their age is their expiration date. One more thing, save this video, bookmark it, write down the date, because there will be days when you forget who you are, days when the voice of doubt gets louder than the voice of truth. On those days, come back to February 6. Let God tell you everything all over again. You are chosen, you are seen, you are not forgotten. Now go rest, beloved. Your soul just did heavy lifting tonight. And tomorrow? Tomorrow you wake up different.